All right, my name is Amanda Siebert and I did fitness testing for my grading assessment. It really only affects physical education teachers, but administrators and school districts can utilize the information gathered as well. So a little bit of background information. It was created as a response to the increase of at-risk youth who are overweight and inactive. Major issues including, but definitely not limited to, type 2 diabetes, high blood pressure, and cardiovascular disease. In July of 2007, Senate Bill 78 and 601 required students to continue to take physical education if they do not meet the passing criteria of 5 out of the 6 areas on the physical fitness test in ninth grade. Students who do not pass the physical fitness test in ninth grade will be automatically enrolled in a physical education class with a personal fitness emphasis the following year and will be tested again. While this requirement will continue each year of high school, passing the physical performance test does not gauge whether or not they graduate. So what is it? The California Physical Fitness Test, or the PFT, it's also known as FitnessGram. It's a comprehensive health-related physical fitness battery developed by the Cooper Institute. The Cooper Institute established the 6 areas and their components of criteria to evaluate performance for each area. The criteria is used to represent a level of fitness that offers protection against those diseases that are associated with being physically inactive. The criteria is based on research and expert opinions. So when are the students actually tested? So when they're enrolled in a unified school district, county offices of education, or charter schools, they're tested 3 times within their education. The first time is in 5th grade in elementary school, 7th grade in middle school, and then 9th grade, which again ideally would be high school. The overall goal is to assist students in establishing lifelong habits for regular physical activity. One special consideration that I found regarding this was that students who are physically unable to take the entire test are to complete as much as possible according to the Education Code Section 60-800 and the California Code of Regulations Title 5 Section 1041. So here are our 6 fitness areas for FitnessGram. First is aerobic capacity, and then abdominal strength and endurance, upper body strength and endurance, body composition, trunk extensor strength and flexibility, and then flexibility. First here we have aerobic capacity. So aerobic capacity refers to the maximum rate that oxygen is taken in and used by the body during exercise. This is important because good aerobic capacity has been associated with reduction of health problems. These are the 3 tests for aerobic capacity that assess cardiorespiratory systems by measuring the endurance. So first we have the PACER test, the 1-mile walk run, and then the walk test. So PACER actually stands for Progressive Aerobic Cardiovascular Endurance Run. The objective is to run as long as possible while keeping a specified pace. Students run back and forth across a 20-meter space at a pace that gets faster each minute. A point is scored for each 20-meter distance covered. The test is easier towards the beginning, but then progressively gets more difficult. The 1-mile walk run. It's a designated track and it is timed. The overall objective is to complete 1 mile in the fastest time possible. Students are allowed to walk during this intermittently, but they should be encouraged to cover the distance in the least amount of time possible. Abdominal strength and endurance. Abdominal strength and endurance are both important in promoting good posture, correct pelvic alignment, and lower back health. So the one they have us assessing here is the curl up. So you have the student lie on their back with their knees flexed and their feet 12 inches from the buttocks, hands to the side. The student's shoulders come off the mat about 2 inches. It's performed at a pace of about 1 curl up every 3 seconds. There is no pause and you want them to be continuous. Upper body strength and endurance. Upper body strength and endurance is an important fitness area because of reported benefits in maintaining functional health and good posture. There are 3 different options here in this fitness area: the push-up, modified pull-up, and the flexed arm hang. So the push-up, you have the student face down in plank position with their hands slightly wider than their shoulders. The legs and the body need to remain parallel. The student lowers themselves about 90 degrees and then pushes themselves back up. The test begins in the up position. It's performed at a pace of about 1 push-up every 3 seconds, and the push-ups are continuous. The modified pull-up. The objective is to successfully complete as many modified pull-ups as possible. The student lies down on their back with their shoulders under the bar that has been set about 1 to 2 inches above their reach. The student grabs the bar with an overhand grip, which is the palms facing away from the body, and then the student pulls themselves up until the chin is at bar level. The flexed arm hang. The objective here is to just hold on as long as possible. So the grip on the bar has the hands shoulder width apart. You're in like the upper position of a pull-up. Without any support other than your hands, you simply just try to hold on with your chin above the bar as long as possible. Body composition. The 3 body composition options estimate the level of body fat. This is the key component of fitness because excessive fat content has been associated with health problems such as coronary heart disease, stroke, and diabetes. We do this in 3 ways. We have the skin fold measurements, body mass index, and the bioelectric impedance analyzer. Skin fold measurements. We use calipers, which is that white tool you see there in the picture, to measure skin folds in typically these 3 places: the triceps, the stomach, and the thigh. These measurements are then calculated to determine the amount of body fat. Body mass index. This is an indicator of obesity or if your student is underweight. It's a weight to height ratio calculated by dividing the weight in kilograms by the square of the height in meters. So here is a chart that roughly tells you about where the athletes and students should be. Bioelectric impedance analyzer. It's a portable unit for measuring body composition. You place your hands on the handles of the unit containing electrodes, and a low-level electrical current is sent through the body. The device measures how the signal is impeded through the different types of tissues. As BIA determines the resistance to flow of the current as it passes through the body, it provides estimates of body water and body fat and is calculated using selected equations. Trunk extensor strength and flexibility. This is an important aspect of the fitness testing because it predicts the first time and recurrent lower back pain, which is a major source of disability and discomfort. Awareness and attention to these things can reduce the risk for future back problems. For this, we assess the trunk lift. The goal of this test is to lift the upper body a maximum of 12 inches off the floor using the muscles of the back. The students hold this position long enough just to allow the measurement to be taken. Flexibility. Joint flexibility is an important component of fitness because it contributes to overall functional health. There are 2 things that we measure here: the sit and reach and then the shoulder stretch. The goal of the sit and reach is to assess flexibility of the lower back and the posterior thigh, or the hamstrings. Using a special box designed for this test, students are asked to reach forward as far as possible and to a maximum distance of about 12 inches. The actual reach distance is measured for both the right and the left legs. Shoulder flexibility test. This test involves asking the students to touch their fingertips by reaching one arm behind the back and the other over the shoulder. The reach is measured for both the right and the left sides. So now we're going to talk about the uses. The most important one, for the students to use their scores to assess themselves and create personal fitness programs. Now I linked these with the content standards for California. For 5th grade, 4.4, Examine personal results of a scientifically based health-related physical fitness assessment and identify one or more ways to improve performance in areas that do not meet minimum standards. For 7th grade, 3.6, assess periodically the attainment of or progress towards personal physical fitness goals and make necessary adjustments to a personal physical fitness program. For high school, it depends on what course they're actually enrolled in. For high school course 1, 3.5, they develop personal goals to improve one's performance in physical activities. High school course 2, 3.5, evaluate and refine personal goals to improve performance in physical fitness activities. And then advanced aerobic activities 2.2, to design a personal physical fitness program in preparation for the demands of a competitive aerobic activity. Another use here for the teachers to utilize the program to design curriculum for their physical education units. And then parents or guardians can use the takings from these tests to kind of understand their child's physical fitness levels. So here's one of the charts. We have the age there on the left for males, and then if you go to the right, finding the different activity, and then going down the chart to see where that athlete or student should be. Here is the same or similar chart for females, and then a chart for both. Alright, so here are my sources that I used to gather all of the information, and I designated what type of information I found for each website. So if you have any questions or comments, these are where I found them. You can go there to find more information or leave a comment below. Thanks so much.